Hi babes, welcome back. I hope you're all well. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons that come with buying designer bags. By designer bags, I'm referring to Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Dior, Chanel, and brands like that. So really the higher end brands where you're going to spend over $1,000 for a bag. I wanted to do this video because this is a question I get asked often, not exactly in that way, but many times I have people, suggest that I'm wasting my money by buying higher end designer bags. Of course, with everything in life, there are pros and cons. So I just wanted to go over them and share that in today's video. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So you guys know that I like a short, straight to the point video, and this video is going to be no different. I have come up with some points, some pros and cons that I quickly want to go over. But before I do that, I just wanted to say that there really isn't anything wrong with purchasing, let's say, a $215 bag versus a, $3,000 bag. It all comes down to personal preference and how you want to spend your money, okay? That is the most important thing. You do whatever you want to do and whatever you feel most comfortable with your own money. And I feel like we should leave people alone. If somebody wants to spend $3 grand on a bag, let them. They worked for it, or however they got the money, as long as it's like an honest way. Like, who cares? It's not your money. And if somebody would rather only spend $200 on a bag, which is still a lot of money for a bag, then leave them alone. That's their money. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the first pro. We're gonna start off with pros. So my first pro is that you own a piece of history. With brands like Chanel and Louis Vuitton, depending on like what brand you love, but you're gonna own a piece of fashion history, okay? There's so much to it. I'm not gonna really go into it because every brand has their has a different story, and I think that's why some of us tend to like Dior more versus Chanel, or some of us love Chanel more than they do Gucci and things like that. But there's just something to it. It's more than just spending $3,000. It's being a part of something, if that makes sense. The next pro is obviously owning something that not everyone has. You are not probably going to go to Target and see 20 other people with the same Gucci bag as yours. It's just very unlikely unless you live in like somewhere LA or something like that. But like if you're normal like me, very rarely do I ever see someone here in Columbus wearing the exact same bag as me. And like if I'm in New York, it might happen more often. But just on a day-to-day, it's just not really a thing. So I really like that. I like owning things that not everybody else has. Number 3, the third pro, is definitely another one that I feel like I explain all the time to people, and I could really get super deep with this. This is like, for me, the most important thing, and that is supporting a designer that you love. Like, you love his designs or her designs. You love what they create. And it's almost like art, right? If someone really likes art and they want to buy an art piece from their favorite artist. It's the same with bags. It just is. And I know that kind of sounds crazy to people, trust me, because when I explain it to people, even people that are into art, they still don't understand. You can justify spending $3,000-$4,000 on a piece of art, yet you're shaming me for spending the same amount of money on a bag. But I'm sorry, it's still art. That is also art. Like, to me, that is art. It's something a designer created that I want to support, that I love the design of, if that makes sense. So that is another pro. You are, supporting one of your favorite designers and their designs. Another pro is the experience. Let's face it, if you've ever went into a Chanel boutique, a Dior boutique, and have purchased something, the experience is unbeatable. Yes, there are certain, luxury brands where they're really rude. Chanel can be one of them, but like, let's talk about Dior. I mean, I've had nothing but excellent experiences. If you have never experienced it yet, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. The way you're treated, just the whole experience. It's almost like almost like hanging out with a friend and looking at bags, and you know, they bring you champagne if you want, or a bottle of water. You know, they have little seating areas where you can sit and look at the different things. They bring them to you. It's just a whole freaking experience that's amazing. So obviously there are a lot more pros that I could list. I don't want this video to be super long, so I just wanted to name those. What did we do? 4 or 5? I don't even know now because I didn't count. Let's move on to the cons. So obviously one of the first ones is the price, right? It's freaking expensive. If you think about it, it is a lot of money to spend, let's say, on a bag or a pair of shoes. So, you know, that's just how it is. I don't know what else to say about that. You can go and buy things on the pre-loved market, which is probably gonna help you out a little bit and make things a little more affordable. But you know, the everyday normal person probably can't go and buy a new $3,000 bag, you know, every other week. I can't. I know I can. I know a lot of people can. It's not the norm, okay? That's why these things are considered luxury items. But yeah, that's, I would say, probably the biggest con. Number 2 is quality. You guys know I am always 100% honest. I'm not gonna sit here and say just because you spend $3 grand on a bag, it's gonna be the best quality ever and it's gonna beat every other, you know, non-designer brand out there, because unfortunately that is not the case. There are many designer brands and bags that just they just aren't the greatest quality, and that's a fact. I mean, fight me in the comment section. There are lots and lots of designer bags. I've personally owned some of them where I was just kind of a little bit disappointed with the quality, where I felt like, okay, I could have easily spent, you know, $200 instead of $2,500, let's say, and I probably would have liked that bag more in terms of quality. So that's just something to look out for and be aware of, that just because it's expensive doesn't always mean that the quality is better. Number 3 are fakes. I wanted to talk about this because to me that's definitely a huge con. If you are wanting to buy, you know, a designer bag and maybe you want to go the pre-loved route, there are so many fakes out there and it can be pretty scary. I did do some videos on that, which I'll leave in the comment section down below. I'm not in the comment section, in the description box. Wow, Angelique, in case you're curious. But you know, that is a con. Also, not only that you could potentially end up with a fake if you buy on the pre-loved market, but also there are a lot of people that wear fakes. Yeah, somebody said that in my comment section recently, like something about how I sounded annoyed with fakes. I'm not a fan of fakes. Not because I don't want to get into it, but it's because of the way they are created and the way they are made. I just don't think it's right. So yes, I personally would much rather spend like $200 or something like that on a Coach bag, or maybe another brand that's just more affordable than buying like a $300-400 super fake. The last con that I wanted to mention is that maybe you end up buying one of these bags and you like feel like you have to be really careful with it. You don't want to use it like you would your cheaper bags because you're afraid it's gonna get, you know, ruined. And I know a lot of people that do that. I am someone, I always say this, I buy my bags to wear them. I am typically, and I'm not like a rich person that can be like, oh, whatever, I don't care about how much money I spend on this, but I did buy these items to use them. So I'm typically not super careful with them. I wear them, I take them out, you know, rain or shine. But I know there are a lot of people that can't do that, and I've heard of stories where people have bought, you know, Louis Vuitton or Chanel bags and have only maybe worn them once, and they just sit in the closet because they're just too afraid to use them. And that can definitely be a con. And if you're someone that knows you might be like that, I would probably not buy any designer bags, because what do you want with it sitting in your closet? Like, you're not gonna wear it. I kind of feel like that would be a little bit of a waste of money. So anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you found this somewhat helpful. Please leave some pros and cons that you might want to add to this video in the comment section down below. I always love for you guys to do that so other people can read and also hear different opinions. And yeah, that is it. Hope you like this, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.